Hey, welcome back to Revenge Diary. Buckle up, because tonight's story starts under glittering lights and fake smiles in Miami, Florida. Picture it, a New Year's Eve dinner at a beachside resort. Everyone's dressed up, cocktails clinking. My brother telling jokes, my family playing the part of picture-perfect happiness, and then, my brother raises his glass to the one who always shows up broke, desperate, and still trying to matter. Laughter from my parents, from the people who'd been living off me for years, and me? I didn't laugh. I lifted my glass right back at him and said, to the one whose rent account I just closed, silence. Delicious pin drop silence. The kind that doesn't just stop a dinner, it cracks a whole family's void. I'm Aria, I'm 30. And this isn't the first time I've had to buy respect with receipts. For most of my adult life, I was the responsible one. You know exactly the type, pays bills on time, remembers birthdays, quietly covers for everyone else's chaos. I worked in marketing for a hotel chain. It sounds glamorous: ocean views, cocktails, magazine smiles, but most days it's spreadsheets, problem solving, and smiling while you fix someone else's mess. Which, coincidentally, was also the best description of being the daughter who never says no. My parents, lovely people if you only met them once. They post those holiday photos with captions like "grateful for my blessings," and sure, we looked like a Hallmark card. But behind those glossy smiles were the bank transfers, the frantic late-night calls, the just this once, honey requests that never stopped. It started small, a little loan here. Can you cover it till next month there? And every time, I told myself I was doing the right thing, that this was what family meant. Oh, if past me could see me now. It was mid-December when I saw another text from my brother, Jake. No greeting, no "hey sis," just "rent hits on the 3rd, you got it, right?" I stared at the message with the same tired sigh I'd sighed 50 times before. And something snapped. No fireworks, no dramatic music, just this quiet, steady voice in my head that said, enough. I opened my banking app, scrolled through months of transactions, all his name. The total, more than the price of a new car. Have you ever looked at your transaction history and realized it's actually a spreadsheet of how many times you've been taken for granted? Yeah, that was me. So I made a choice, not a dramatic burn it all down choice. A calm, meticulous one. I closed the automatic transfers, printed everything, the amounts, the dates, his messages, because I had a feeling that when the new year came, I'd finally draw a line no one could laugh off. New Year's Eve, we're at this gorgeous ocean view restaurant, the kind that charges you extra just for the view. My parents are glowing, my brother's performing his usual charming Joker act, and I am quiet. They don't notice, they never notice, because silence was my assigned role, the reliable background character who funds the main cast. When the waiter sets down the drinks, my mother leans in with that soft, mother tone that always means you're about to be voluntold something. You'll help your brother with that job application next week, right? You're so good at that stuff, sweetheart. No question mark, just assumption. My dad chuckles. Yeah, Aria always figures it out. She's the planner to them. I wasn't a person, I was a service provider. Part WIF, part accountant, part life coach. Then Jake adds, with his trademark smirk, she's not just the planner, she's the sponsor. Couldn't survive a year without our in-house investor. Cue family laughter, cue my patience thinning like old thread. I look at Jake and say, sponsor, huh? Is that what we're calling it now? Hey, he shrugs. Credit where it's due. You do keep the lights on. My phone buzzes, his name again. Message, rent hits the 3rd, appreciate you. Ain't that poetic? The same guy mocking me for paying his bills is literally texting me about his next one mid-toast. That was my cinematic click moment. Not rage, clarity. For the first time, I wasn't going to swallow the humiliation with my champagne. Jake stands up, dramatic as always, tapping his knife against his glass. Ding ding ding, the sound makes everyone turn. He lives for that spotlight glow. All right, everyone, he says, before we ring in the new year. A special toast. Mom beams, dad grins, I brace. You could set a clock by this routine. To the one who always shows up broke, desperate, and still trying to matter. Laughter ripples around the table. My mother giggles behind her napkin. My father shakes his head fondly, like his son's some lovable rascal. People from the next table glance over, smiling politely. They think it's cute family banter. They don't know it's psychological warfare served with a side of lobster. Jake keeps going. To the sibling who's both broke, and the family bank at the same time. We should all be so generous. Bigger laugh. My stomach clenches. That's when I stand, calmly, smoothly, wine glass in hand. My voice cuts through the laughter. To the one whose rent account I just closed. The laughter dies mid-breath. My father's glass freezes halfway up. My mother's eyes widen. Jake's smirk twitches, the silence that follows. Chef's kiss, perfection. I take a slow sip. Hold everyone's gaze. To the one who's been living off my quiet generosity for years and apparently thinks humiliation is gratitude now. You could practically hear social media captions rewriting themselves. Jake sputters, Aria, sit down. You're making this weird. I smile, steady as ever. No, Jake. I'm making it honest. He tries to laugh it off. Come on, I was joking. It's New Year's, lighten up. Mum nods too quickly. It's just a bit of fun, sweetheart. I open my purse, pull out my phone. I had prepared for this like an exam. You want to keep it fun. Let's make it educational, I say. I scroll through my notes app and start reading. January. $850 rent. February. $850 rent. March. $850 plus $326 utilities. Eyes widen. I keep going. April. $1,200 car repairs. May, same rent, plus overdraft fees. June. $700 credit card balance you swore was one time. The color drains from Jake's face like I just unplugged his confidence. Dad rubs his temples. You wrote it all down. Someone had to, I reply. While you were all laughing about how broke I am, I was keeping your son from eviction and myself from having a savings account. Jake groans. You didn't have to. I never forced you. No, I say. You didn't hold a gun to my head. You just guilt texted me. If you don't help, I don't know what I'll do. You're the only one I can count on. That's not force, but it's manipulation dressed in family guilt. Mum whispers. We didn't realize it was that much. You never asked, I say. You just laughed when he made me the punchline. Dad finally looks at Jake differently, less indulgence. More disappointment. Is it true? He asks quietly. Jake exhales through his nose. Everybody borrows money sometimes. Aria's making it sound dramatic. I tilt my phone forward so they can see the total. $9,643.89 this year alone. Utter stillness. Finally, I lower my phone and say, this isn't about money, it's about respect. Family isn't a subscription. My help was optional, not owed. Jake's tone shifts from defensive to desperate. So that's it. You're cutting me off. I already did, I say, voice calm. The automatic payments are closed. If you want to keep your apartment, you'll figure it out yourself. My mother's voice shakes. Maybe we can make a plan just until. Exactly that, I interrupt. Just until, just this once, just for now. Those justs have lasted years. The word is retired. And right there, I felt something inside me unwind, the constant knot of guilt and obligation melting into something lighter. The restaurant buzzes on around us, strangers clinking glasses. Counting down toward midnight, our table frozen in the aftermath of honesty. Jake mutters. You're choosing money over family. I shake my head slowly. No, Jake, I'm choosing self-respect over being used. There's a difference. I left them sitting there, napkins limp in their hands, as fireworks bloomed outside the windows. Back in my hotel room, I heard the countdown echo faintly from the distance. Cheers music. Laughter that finally didn't cost me anything. A while later, a knock. My dad. You should have told us, he says, eyes softer now. I did, I answer. You just didn't want to hear it when it was subtle. You only listened when I made it public. He exhales. We'll fix this. You will. I reply, because I already started fixing me. That night, I fell asleep for the first time in years without checking a balance or rereading my brother's guilt trips. Fast forward half a year. I'm in a cozy cafe working on a side project finally. Something for me. My debt's shrinking. My peace is growing, and my phone is blissfully quiet. The doorbell jingles. Jake walks in. He looks older, not aged, just humbled. He spots me, hesitates, then pulls out the chair across from mine. Hey. We sit in that wary silence between two people who've outgrown their old script. I got a second job. He says, not glamorous, but I'm paying my own rent. Good, I nod. No fanfare, no applause, just acknowledgement. He glances down. I was furious with you, you know. Thought you were cruel. I figured. I went through our messages. He continues. I didn't realize how often I asked. It was constant. I'd stopped even saying please. Yeah, I say softly. You also called me desperate in front of our parents. He grimaces. I was projecting. Doesn't make it right. I'm sorry. For a moment, I see the kid who used to guard me from bullies on the walk home. I don't rush forgiveness, but I nod. Trying is a start. Boundaries are the rest. He smiles weakly. I can do that. Our family didn't turn into saints overnight. There were awkward calls, half-hearted apologies, and plenty of silence, but something fundamental shifted. No one assumed my yes anymore. Mom now asks before suggesting I help. Dad actually listens before mediating, and Jake, well, he's learning that accountability doesn't kill you. They still joke sometimes, but I notice they watch my eyes first. They know where the line is now. You want to know the funny part? Once I stopped bailing him out, he figured things out fast. Turns out, the problem was never ability, it was permission. Here's the truth. When you grow up being the responsible one, saying no feels like betrayal. You measure love by how much you sacrifice. But one day, you realize the price tag for peace of mind has gotten too high. Cutting someone off isn't cruelty. It's a recalibration. I used to think my kindness made me valuable. Now I know my boundaries are what protect that kindness from getting weaponized. People call it revenge. I call it recovery. The night I closed that rent account wasn't just a boundary, it was a rebirth. And sure, it cost me the illusion of a perfect family. But I finally earned a version of myself who sleeps better, laughs louder, and doesn't need permission to stop being used. So, if any part of this story strikes something inside you, if you've ever been the family fixer, the always available friend, the emotional emergency fund, then maybe tonight's your reminder. You don't owe endless access to anyone who mistakes your love for obligation. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do isn't forgiving quietly. It's closing the account, even when the people staring back look shocked you finally did it. This has been Revenge Diary, where stories like these turn pain into power. If Aria's story hit home even a little, make sure to subscribe and share this video with someone who needs the courage to say no just once and mean it, because somewhere tonight, another family ATM is deciding it's finally time to pull the plug, and when she does, that silence afterward will be her freedom song.